Actually, we already understand that the lack for the Creator's greatness is the main thing that guides us towards spirituality. And the more we insist on it, fight for the Creator's greatness to be more important than everything else, from my own greatness, all in all. By that, I change my ways. I guide myself towards the spiritual world. Spirituality is in whole built upon the greatness of the Creator, and on how the host becomes more and more important to me than myself. Then to that extent I can bestow upon him. Therefore, there's no side topic here, one of many other topics we study, but rather this is the main subject of study. So it is worthwhile for us to take into account and see how the Creator's greatness accompanies me throughout the day. The lack for it is something that I feel like breath. I must draw breath every moment, and the same way exactly the same way I need to remind myself every moment by force, or just to check to see if I feel a lack for the Creator's greatness, if I live it, if this gives me life, and that if the Creator isn't in my life, then I fall immediately into my ego, which rules over me and turns me into a beast. And the greatness of the Creator, it's very hard for us to reach it because it's concealed, it's hidden. And He guards Himself so as to not be revealed. And He guards Himself so that we won't need Him in a coarse, egoistic, corporeal way, which will only serve to develop our ego, but rather that we will want Him to rule over us in a manner where He is greater than us, greater than our egos, and then above the greatness of the ego, which is naturally, it's inherent to us, we will prefer bestowal over reception, and so advance. So, in order to allow us, to enable us to come to demand the Creator's greatness, so as to be able to bestow upon Him, we have been awarded with a very great preparation from above, the shattering of the soul. And so, by us being in tents together, in those tents, we can develop the need for the Creator's greatness, the importance of the Creator. And so each one helps his friend, specifically in that. And we truly can invoke the reforming light when each one is impressed by the friends, has some lack from them for the Creator's greatness, even in a corporeal way, in a competitive manner, perhaps, through envy, respect, desire. He longs for it. And this invokes the reforming light. And that light, we can invoke it even though we are still with desires, intentions, inclinations, and questions which are impure, of course. But that doesn't matter. It's the same way a mother understands her baby, even if he himself doesn't know how to ask or to speak. She feels what he wants. And so it's enough for us to just shout, to ask from our egos, give us, help us, we want this, we want that, even though we want the Creator's greatness and His importance out of all sorts of egoistic motives. But these egoistic reasons are accepted above as a necessity from our side. There's nothing else that can be done for the time being. So we turn to the Creator, but through the group. And by that we all annul ourselves, each one to a certain extent. And so even though we turn to Him due to envy or desire for respect, we invoke the reforming light, and it affects us. And so gradually we begin to indeed feel the necessity for the Creator's greatness, the lack for the Creator's greatness, and even the greatness of the Creator itself. And as it shines upon us, illuminates, even to a small extent, we can then appreciate and see how that thing saves me from everything. And I feel that I lack only that. There's nothing here besides that. I need to, or by replacing my own greatness, my own ego, where I think only about myself, with the greatness of the Creator, such that I'll be concerned about Him through the group. Well, you need to do the same thing through the 10, of course, and then with Him. By that, I enter the spiritual degree from the corporeal degree, from reception to bestowal. The matter of the greatness of the 10, and within that, the greatness of the Creator, that's the lever or the crane with which I elevate myself, lift myself from corporeality to spirituality. And so we need to calculate and to take into account the extent to which I'm concerned about this, preoccupied with this, meaning that the Creator's greatness will be important to me, and that I'll see in it the only thing that I need to obtain, and everything else which can assist me in that, I accept gladly as assistance and support for that attainment. And to the extent of the Creator's greatness that I have, the greatness of the host, I'll be able to bestow upon him to carry out all sorts of actions, and my advancement, of course, depends on that. And so we're not leaving this subject of study. We need to continue with it, and we'll continue with it through to the end of correction, because there is no limit to the Creator's greatness. And this is what elevates us. And so we will advance.